Right now, next up,
the Pit Life Comedy Podcast with Philip Anthony.
And you are not going to move.
Pain is temporary, but laughter is forever.
Welcome to Pit Life Comedy Podcast. This is episode 2 with the first time we have a real guest. So I'm going to introduce our guest and we're just going to get into some questions, right? Pit Life Comedy, like I said before, pain is temporary, laughter is forever. And this is what this podcast is all about. It's about taking those tough moments in life and using humor to help you get through. So today I'm joined by someone who's very well known in our community, and when people talk about him, you know, the good stuff. When people say stuff about him, it's always positive stuff. Everybody's got a lot of love for this dude, and one of the things he's really known for is having a great sense of humor, and that's why I thought he'd be a great person to have on his podcast. We all know you as Moyo. Right. Johnny, so thank you for joining me on the podcast. Again, you're the first official guest, and there's a number of reasons. Like I said, the person you are, the story you have, and the sense of humor that you possess are the 3 reasons I really wanted to have you on the podcast. So thank you for agreeing to be here.
Thank you for having me, brother.
And I know you don't like being on stage, but right now you're in the spotlight.
Right.
Literally, we need a lot of light for this guy. A lot of light. The people.
Do I have to turn?
Nah. So tell the listeners and viewers about yourself a little bit, and why you wanted to be on the podcast today.
My name is Johnny Torres. I was born and raised in Springfield. Been here 60 years, except for 4 years of the service. It's a great thing to. I lost my wife back in 2017, so the way I deal with everything is through laughter. So I figured since you're doing this, when I get on here and tell people how I do it, and why I do it. So
that really, I know your story, and a lot of people do, but I want you to tell a little bit about your story about how you guys met, all that good stuff before we get into everything else. But that's
the statute of limitation has run out. Okay,
it's one of those things. Like, it's a great story. I love. Like, I'm in a very the only healthy relationship I've ever been in my life. And so I love and I love his story, and I just tell a little bit about how you met your wife and all that.
So my wife and I, we met at Costco. We were going there to get a job, and I seen her walk in, and I'm like, wow, this woman's gonna be my wife. And I walked up to her and said, hey, you're gonna be my wife. She goes, get that F away from me. So I said, I'm just letting you know you're gonna be my wife. Her brother came up. He's like, yo, stay away from my sister. I said, I'm going to let you know I'm going to marry that woman. She's going to be my wife. But it all started because before we even met, I lost my brother. He was my best friend. I lost him. I was out here trying to get killed. I was fighting every day. I was trying to get killed, man. I just didn't want to deal with life. And I'm a man of faith, not religion, but a man of faith. And I turned to God, and he saw me through this, and the rest is history. So I got my milk, my eggs, and my wife at Costco, man. And the funny thing is, I chased her for a whole year, and she kept telling me no. And the day she said, yeah, I was already dating somebody else. So I took that person's card, picked up mine. So I picked her up. We went to the movies, and the next day I walked in. I'm like, let's do this. She's like, let's do what? I said, let's get married. We did, and it lasted 25 years.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It was meant for me. I can tell you honestly, I was truly blessed to have that woman in my life.
25 years.
25 years, brother.
After what? I've gotten free samples at Costco. But I don't know. It's crazy. So the first words your wife said to you were, "Get the F away from me."
Correct.
The first words my wife ever said to me, you know what they were?
What?
For real.
Okay.
She said, "I thought you were taller."
So did I.
And I was like, well, as a single person, when I was single out there, trying to get attention online, none of my pictures were with other people. I didn't need anything to reference. I didn't want you to see, he's next to Moyo. I know Moyo's this tall, so if he's this tall, I didn't want nothing.
My wife was 5'10".
Wow, really?
She was 5'10".
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I did type out some questions because I mean I'm almost as old as you, almost. So my memory's not that great either. So
that GED put it to work.
yeah. I got that in the Army, so that's.
Did you really?
Yeah. So let's just kind of go along. So I'm just gonna go through some of the questions. One of the questions here I like is what role did laughter play in your healing process? Like even if it didn't come right away.
No, it didn't. And the first time I laughed was at one of your shows. You brought Aldo, and I was there. And that was the first time laughing after she passed away.
Wow.
And I told you that night, and you like, you said, yo, that makes me feel good.
So that night meant a lot to me, right? I talk about when I go on stage, there's two groups of people, right? There's people that are there because they want to laugh, they love comedy, they just they like to laugh. But there's people in the audience, always there's at least one or two that need to laugh. And that night, there were two people.
It was myself and my wife's cousin. Yeah.
There was you, and then my wife's cousin Nada, who had just lost her husband as well. And so the whole night, I was just watching you guys. And the more I saw you guys laugh, you don't understand how my heart was like filling up. It was that's why I love comedy so much. That was everything. That I remember that. I was at El Moro.
Yeah.
At El Moro, and that was a great night.
Yeah, that was the first time laughing.
Really?
Yeah, because after she passed.
That was
a year or two after she passed.
All right. Okay, so it was like 2019. Yeah.
So I was locking myself up at home. Like I would get out of work and go straight home. I was working only 3 days. I was working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. When I got off of work Thursday, I would lock myself up till the following Tuesday. So when your show came up, I said, let me go check this out. And Aldo was there, and Aldo just...
Aldo's a beast.
that midget story.
He tried to get off the stage without telling that story. I never. If I book Aldo and he don't tell that midget story, I'm not paying him.
and let me tell you, people, when Aldo's in town, go see him.
Yeah.
Seriously, go see him.
Yeah. Right now he's he's doing the cruise lines. So he's doing really well doing the cruise lines. He's traveling the world, so a lot more people getting to see him. So shout out to Aldo Maraclian, one of my favorite comics.
That midget story.
But
that was my first time laughing, and I felt bad because when I go out, I would always take my wife with me, and she wasn't there.
She was with you.
Yeah, she was with me. See, that's what she wanted me to do. And I went with a friend, and it was just, I started laughing, I started enjoying life, and ever since then, that's why I support you.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah, I go with, whenever you have something, I'm there. The only time I didn't go was when you went to New York.
Yeah, that's okay.
That was my birthday weekend.
That was and it was tough because that was a Thursday night. Yeah. Right? People were like, I'm gonna go. I said, look, if you're not gonna go, just don't. I don't mind it. Nobody. I don't expect everybody to show up. This was a Thursday night, 10 o'clock. The show started, and it's in New York. So I get if a lot of people didn't come. It was a big deal. It was the Apollo, but
it was my birthday weekend.
I get it, right? I didn't. What upset me was the people that said, I got my tickets already. And then when I got there, they weren't there, but it was sold out.
Oh, wow.
What were you thinking? You know, like, anyway, whatever. But I'm glad, I'm so glad you came out that night. One of the things I hear people say when someone goes through something or anything near what you've experienced is they tell you it's going to be okay.
And
now,
that's
hold on. At the time, I know the first person that said that, or anybody that said that, were this close to getting punched in the face. I get that. But what would you say to somebody, who is experiencing that now?
What I would suggest is, whoever you believe in, turn to that person, turn to God. Because I tell you, I'm a man of faith. I believe in God. I know that what wakes me up every morning is the fact that I'm going to see my family on the other side. So 6 months prior to my wife dying, I lost my mother. Yeah, 6 months before she died, but my mother always said, don't mourn for me. Don't cry for me, I'm going to be in a better place. And I used to tell her, I said, Ma, and it's not going to be a better place, but it's going to be warmer. I know where you're going, So, but then 6 months later, I lost my wife, and my world changed like this, Phil. When I tell you, I was so confused, I didn't know what I was going to do without her, because day in and day out, 25 years with this woman. And that first night when I went like this and she wasn't there, ooh, that was rough.
I don't even want to imagine.
No. You remember when you were talking about how you missed your wife and she went to Florida for 3 days? So imagine.
You're like, me hasta pendejo. So cut it out.
Imagine going through that every day without hearing her voice, without having her there with you. And you were like, boo hoo, I miss her. Dude, just get on the plane.
Choked up, though. Listen, man, I don't ever want to.
No, it's the strangest feeling because my life changed.
Yeah, it's a piece of you was gone.
Mm-hmm. A very big piece.
Wow.
Yeah, she was my everything. She was.
And she was way out of your league.
Yeah, man. Alcohol, baby. Alcohol kept her drunk.
You ain't never gonna do that again. That's crazy.
Kept her drunk. I would never find anybody like her.
No.
She allowed me to be me. You know, she didn't try to change me, and I didn't try to change her. You know, she knew I had a lot of female friends, and you know, she didn't have a lot of male friends because she was from Moyo. You know, they don't have friends over there.
She's not gonna be around to have to change you.
Wow. Wow, my kids are there. And I tell you, I have a great support system in my kids. You know, my oldest is going to be 44. You know, so her and her husband came up from Rhode Island and stayed with me through this whole ordeal.
And you know what I noticed about you too, and I think this is one of the reasons why everybody has great things to say about you and they love you so much, is that even though you were going through all that, and not in that way, but you were always given to and looking out for others.
Correct. Because that's what my mother taught me. You know, and then my wife took all the credit, but my mother was the one that taught me all this. So if I can help someone out, I'm going to help them. You know, be it financially, which I don't have enough money, but if I can give, I'm going to give. You know, and the reason I smile is because it's my burden to carry, not anybody else's.
You sure it's not because you want people to see you because it's dark?
Yo. Plus, I had a great dental plan, you know, but it was just, people just found out that I lost my wife. People are finding out now that I lost my wife. And it's been 8 years.
Wow. So there's another buddy of mine, his name is Steve Nagel from Rock 102. And it's been 8 years since he lost his wife too. And, you know, it was sudden. Oh, yeah. Same thing with the Big C.
Yeah,
it was within a matter of months from when they found out. You know, it was just.
Oh, when we found out, man, we stood up. I seen her face and I'm like, what's wrong? She says, nothing. I said, babe, I've been married to you. At the time, it was like 21 years. Actually, 18 years. I go, I know you. What's wrong? And she said, I just got the call from a doctor. I have cancer. And I'm like, oh, no. So I stood up, gave her a hug. And then I said, you know what? What makes us better than the next person? If not you, then who? So we dapped each other up and we fought. We fought for 4 long years. 4 years. And we laughed, we cried. You know, I got angry. Because I'm not a bully, but if cancer was a person, every day.
Oh, yeah.
Every day I would be out there beating that. You know what I mean?
You could curse me.
Oh, I was going to say, you took my queen from me, man. That was my queen. And that's from day one, I was calling her my queen. You know, so it's just, it's hard, man. And people, the dumbest question I ever got was, do you cry? I swear to God, the guy said, do you cry? I'm like, I'm human.
Who?
It's some dumb. But let me tell you, when he asked me that question, I'm like, I'm human, man. Yes, I cry, but I'm not going to cry in front of you.
You know? I'm almost crying over here.
No, don't cry because when I tell you I was truly blessed, Phil, I'm telling you I was blessed. I was blessed.
I say it to you all the time. And I tell you, you know, I hate that you had to lose that, but I know so many people in this world who will never experience what you've had.
And if they do it, like
for so long.
Oh, so 8 years, and then when I look at my youngest daughter, I see my wife. I know you see my daughter, she looks just like my wife. But that keeps me going because I have to live for them. Not for me, I live for my children and my grandchildren. I don't live for me.
You gotta live for you a little bit.
A little bit. That's why I laugh.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. Because, you know, I mean, you it's good to give to others.
Oh, of course.
But you gotta feed yourself, right? In every way, not just food, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, food. I think we're good. We're good on that.
Nah, but my thing is faith. I live off of my faith. That's what I live off every day. I know when I wake up, I pray. Okay, and I talk to my wife as she's there. You know, people believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Jesus, and I believe Jesus is a spirit. So if he's the spirit, my wife is the spirit. So that's what I do, man. But I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Anyone.
I didn't experience it. I don't want to experience it, but I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
On anyone.
I'd rather have the conversation than the questions, but you know, I'll just see if we got anything else. But you said you had questions too, so
No. That was just. Remember how you was boo-hooing because your wife was in Florida, and you were like, "I miss my wife." I'm like, "Look at this mother."
I'm surprised you didn't block me.
I like this.
Like,
I'm at work.
I'm gonna block you until she gets back.
I'm at work.
Yo, but you know what it is? Like my wife and so like my story is I met my wife when I was 43.
Oh wow.
And I'd never imagined or even considered proposing to anyone. Or matter of fact, at that point in my life, I had given up on relationships altogether. I was like, nope, never doing it again. Never playing house, quote unquote. Right, not gonna do that. And I was, I was dating. I was doing what I was a single guy. And then I met her, and we hung out one time. And the one time we hung out, it was just like
magic.
There was something. Yeah, there was something. I was like, I gotta know more about this woman. So I immediately shut everything else down. Anybody who was, communicating with me, I was like, no, I'm not talking to nobody anymore, because I didn't want to have to tie up any loose ends if this went somewhere.
Right.
I'm like, no, I don't want to chance anything. And from then on, like, we've always been together. Like
So you see how you guys
right.
are.
And so it's got like 10 years. Well, actually, we met at 43. So yeah,
you better know your anniversary.
So it's
better know your anniversary.
Yeah. So then we got married at 45.
Oh wow.
Right. I proposed to her. Again, I never proposed to anybody. I proposed to her, and she said yes, because it was at a comedy show, like hundreds of people there at the beer garden.
So you forced her.
Kind of. But when we got home, I asked her again. I was like, listen, we're still yes, right? But yeah, it was, it was that thing. And so we're always together. I love and like my wife.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that's big.
Yes.
That's
you
big.
can love somebody and
not like them. Correct.
And I've been in relationships like that where I really cared about the person I was with, but they were just not good people. And I was, I thought love was that, because people always tell you love is hard work. Relationships are tough, and if you're fighting, it's because you love each other. And I used to believe that. Now I'm like, that was all a lie. This is the easiest relationship I've ever been in my life.
Love is not just a word; it's an action.
Yes,
it's an action. That's how. Yeah.
And so life is so different for me now. I'm like, and I think what happened at that point in my life, because I was no longer looking for something. Right? Everybody's looking. I want a woman like this. I want a woman like that. I had a bigger list of stuff that I didn't want ever again in my life. And she didn't have anything on that list. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Not even a penis, like nothing. They was on that list that I didn't want.
Size doesn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, that was the funny thing. So we chatted online. I stalked her on Facebook. You chased her around Costco. I stalked her on Facebook. And then finally, I was at the freestyle concert, Mohegan Sun. It was myself and CPR. And we walked in, we were heading going towards backstage. So we were on the ground level. She was up somewhere up top. And she messaged me. She's like, I see your big fat head from here. And I was like, what? Where you at? So she told me, and I had either just gotten or was about to get knee surgery, one of my knee surgeries. And I was in pain, but I walked all them stairs looking to go see her. And then when I got to the top, she wasn't there. I'm like, where you at? She was, we went to the bar. I'm like, you. So then I get to the bar, she's over to my sister, her friends, and then I was like, hey, so she walked over to me and she looked at me and I see her face and she was like, I thought you were taller. I was like, hello to you too. Like, But I gotta remarry me. Gotcha. No.
Alcohol is the mother.
No, it could have been. She was
But I tell you, man, I miss her every day. When I tell you I miss her every day, that's the truth. I wake up and it's like, wow.
So how important is having a sense of humor about life now to continue to get you through these days especially the days when you miss her the most?
Right. So this Father's Day, it actually falls on her birthday. Yeah. So I'm actually going through it. I really am, and this depression is crazy. But I carry the burden. I don't want you to see me sad. So that's why you ever see me, I'm always smiling. I go to funerals, I'm cracking jokes, I don't care.
That's the best place.
Yeah, he can't hear me, he's dead. They can't.
I'm killed. No, it's good.
Yo, I'm killing this man. But no, to get through it, I look at every morning you get on, and I get on there, and what you say, it motivates me, and I'll wait for you to go by. When I go to, there goes a little bitch right there. There goes a little clown.
I'm seeing you. I just look for that glowing vest.
It's actually a jacket, but that's how I But,
I thought those were your arms.
No. You make me laugh every morning.
Oh, thank
you. What I'm saying? When you get on and I get on with you, it's like, I'm having a good time. I'm listening to you. You do crack some jokes, but you're a serious person. I'll be like, no, when it gets serious, nah. But,
it's because I'm in that work mode, and what I do at work is really about coaching, motivation, and teaching.
What you do?
And so that's I'm already in that mindset. But sometimes there's funny stuff that I think about, and I'm like, all right, that's gonna pop up too.
Yeah.
I can't hide who I am. But in that same note, don't suffer in silence, bro.
I do. Like I tell you, it's my burden.
I know it's your burden, but look, there's no secret that you have gone through one of the most painful things anybody can go through. You don't gotta hide that from anybody.
You're not gonna get me looking like Tyrese here. I'm not gonna let me see my wife.
I'm not trying to get you to cry. I'm gonna get you to laugh. But I'm saying though that you don't hide that, man. One thing I learned young is I used to hold everything inside. Everything was my burnouts. And I would just explode every now and then, right? And I think you do too, but you do it alone.
Exactly.
When you shut down and you lock yourself up, and no one sees you, like, where's Moyo? I haven't seen him in a while. That's you.
That's me going through it.
Right.
Correct.
Because you're holding it all the time.
Right.
Own it. It's you. It's a part of you. We already know.
Yeah.
Right. So and it don't have to be me, but it could be me if you need it, if you wanted to be.
Oh yeah.
But talk to somebody.
Right.
And on those days you feel like that, because don't do.
So that's my new mission. My friends are going through it. They're going through what I went through, and I told them, I said, listen, you need somebody to talk to. I've been there. I've done that. Let's go out for coffee, but if we go out, you're paying. You're paying. I'm not going to spend my money to make you feel good. But I can talk to you about losing a mother, losing a wife, losing a sibling. But when it comes to losing a child, that's a whole. That's a whole.
Yeah, that's another level.
Oh my God, dude! I know a lot of people that are going through it, and if they talk, the best thing you can do is listen.
That's it.
Don't give me any advice if you're not going through it, And I get that a lot, but when that person asks me if I cry, I'm like,
you should have made him cry. It was like punching him in his nuts or something. Like, does that make you cry?
And then the other thing is that they always tell me is, move on. How can you move on? There's a constant battle between your heart and your brain. Your brain is saying let go, but your heart is saying how. How can I let go? It's hard. It's 25 years, and everybody goes, you mourn more for your wife than you did your mother. I said, let's do the math. I left my mother's house at 17. I joined the military. Came back, 21. I met my wife when I was 25, and she didn't say yes till she was 26. Till I was 26. So I spent 25 years with her, day in, day out. And people are like, yeah, but she gave you life. I said, yeah, but she made me her life. My wife was my life, dude. That was my home.
Right. If they don't think your wife gave you life,
right? That was my heart. That was my home.
She didn't give birth to you, but there's my wife gave me life too. Like, it's a different life. The life that I have now, I never have regrets anymore. I never worry about what if I would have done this, because every one of those what ifs would mean I didn't meet her.
Right.
And
everything in life happens for a reason.
Right.
Right. So my wife made me look better, and just like your wife makes you look better, and everywhere we went was like, wow, she's gorgeous. Yes, she is, isn't she? And I was proud to be standing next to her.
Don't get me wrong. My wife is lucky to have me.
Yeah.
I'm a catch.
Yeah.
We went to this pizza shop one time, and these 3 old ladies came in. Yo, they were like in their 80s. You should have seen them, yo. I saw my wife see. That's so you better recognize what you got.
It depends. It depends. But yeah, man, my wife was my home. She was my life.
This is a good question because it lends to what we were talking about, right? Some people feel guilty laughing again after a major loss. Did you ever struggle with that? Like, and how'd you work through that? Like,
man, I felt so guilty laughing that night. I really did, and then I go home and like, there's nobody there to share that moment with, and I actually went home and cried. I was like, wow, I felt guilty because she wasn't there. I mean, she may have been there in spirit, but physically she wasn't there with me. Whenever you saw me, my wife was there, and that night, dog, I went home and I cried because she wasn't there, and she knows that I love humor. I would laugh at anything. I'll tell you, I laugh at funerals. I laugh at funerals, bro. And to deal with that guilt, I was like, man. And then you threw another show and another show, and I kept going, and I started getting easier because my kids were also saying, Dad, Mom wouldn't want you like this. Go out there, enjoy life. And my go-to person is Maggie, and she would always invite me to your show, so we went. And because of you, I started laughing again. I haven't danced yet though, because that was my part. And my daughter saw me dancing. My oldest daughter, she started crying. She goes, Dad, I seen you dance again. I said, you should have took a picture because that's the last time. But I stopped dancing, man. I stopped dancing. I'm laughing again, and I'm enjoying life.
So you're never gonna get on a pole again?
And never again, man. I made my money and bounced. I took off, I made this.
That's why Mardi Gras closed.
and the fifth alarm and
all of them.
Yeah, man. Wow. Why are you telling my business, man? I made my money, But yeah.
Listen, I didn't know that the Laughing Latinos comedy show was the first time.
Man.
This is something I learned today, and that means a lot.
No idea when you went Aldo when Aldo went up there.
I gotta share that Aldo too.
Man, he made me laugh, and then I tell you the guilt though. It's hard to deal with, but I made it through. I deal with guilt every day though. I feel like my wife got cheated from seeing our grandkids. My grandkids, I got 6 and 1 on the way, and she got cheated. I feel guilty because I'm enjoying them when we should be enjoying them.
In what ways would you say she still inspires you?
Let me see. Knowing that she would want me to be happy and to laugh again, and then seeing some of the pictures, because all my memories are in boxes right now. And right now, I told you the other day, I was moving my stuff out, and I'm going through the pictures, and I can remember what we were doing at that moment, and it brought a smile to my face. I mean? I remember saying this there, and she looking at me like, "Yo, why you say that?" Because I have no filter. I have no filter. I'm filtering now because I don't want to be seen cussing. Because my daughter cussed the other day, and I said,
You can say fuck here.
I would not say any fucking bad words here. My daughter's 44 and she cussed the other day for the first time in front of me.
Wow. Yeah. It took me into my 30s before I said.
I was 21 when I cussed.
And it came out. I was like, ooh. I said fuck.
I said,
Mom. And I looked at Mom like,
I'm 21, Mom. Sorry. In the military, every other word's a cuss word.
Yeah.
But no, I see the memories are what keeps me going. I know she would want me to be out there. I'm not dating, nor I'm not looking for a date. But if it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens.
His number is not.
My number is. No, my thing is, I believe that when God sees that I'm ready, because I know I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give you 100%. Not right now, because I'm going through it. But when I'm a man of faith, and when God says, here,
I think you don't know how strong you are.
as strong as not what I am is what I have to be. And that's the difference. I'm strong as far as physical, but you know.
I'm not talking about that.
But spiritually and mentally, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, when are you going to seek counseling? For what? I made it this far.
Share with me, if you will, one of your funniest stories with you and your wife. one that you're allowed to share.
No, let's see. That was X-rated. No, I can't.
No? One that you can't.
Actually, between us, you know how you want me to get on stage? I did it in Puerto Rico.
You did?
Yeah, in San
He said between us. He knows it now. We're on a podcast. I'm hoping that we're not the only to see this shit.
In San Juan.
Oh, you did?
I got up on stage and
You told jokes?
I told jokes.
Well, you could do it in La Isla, but you can't do it here?
Yeah, I told jokes in Puerto Rico, and my cousin brought it up. She goes, you remember that time we went to Old San Juan and you went up on stage and just made everybody laugh? Yeah, but I can't do it.
Why not?
I'm shy.
You... Oh, shucks.
I'm shy. No, I really am shy. I'm friend funny.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah, friend funny.
We gotta get you enough alcohol and get you on stage.
I don't drink it.
Well, we gotta get. It won't take much. That's good. It's not
my wife
it won't cost that much. That just like one drink.
Take advantage of me. Give me a bottle of water. But no, I have this fear, and I know my wife always told me you should get up on stage. She always told me get up on stage. I said I can't.
The reason I think you should is because I know you have the gift of humor, right? But you also know how many people need what you have.
Yeah.
And you're someone who loves to help people.
Of course.
Right? So that should be your motivation right there. Knowing, right, the way I go on stage now, because it took me years into comedy before I realized this is why I want to do it the most. For this, right, to deal with people like you who need the laughter, who I know the laughter is doing something good for, not just because I got a couple of dollars I want to go laugh and drink. I want to talk to the people who are there because they're going through some shit, and it could be anything. It could be they lost their job, they had a crappy day. I had one lady walk up to me and said, "Thank you. I just had the worst day ever."
And that's what I did to you in the outdoor.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So I found that calling, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. And I know you have the elements. You love helping people, and you're funny. So you can put that together.
I gotta merge them.
Yeah, put your hand together.
So it's amazing that you said that, because I went to a wake one time, a funeral. Yeah,
you just love joking.
So my boy goes, Mo, there's two people you call when someone's going through it. You call the priest and you call the clown. And he goes, thanks for making us laugh. Like, and it made me laugh because, well, it made me feel good because I would always ask, who makes the clown laugh? And I said, another clown.
I ain't no clown.
No, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Comedians don't like being called clowns.
Okay, who makes a comedian laugh? Yeah. Another comedian. Yeah. So when I found out about you, first of all, I think Beer Garden was one of the reasons why, and then the other reason was everybody was telling me he's a comedian. He sings, but he's a comedian.
I used to say.
Right.
That wasn't funny to my jokes.
So I go, let me go see this guy. And man, when I tell you, you changed me. No, I'm telling you, you changed me that night. I started to come out of the house. I started to, get out.
I thought I'm not crying. Get it out, man.
And I started to go out more,
I'm not crying, you crying.
No, I'm not crying. Tell your wife to stop putting them onions. But it's just the fact that you brought me out of that shell. And when I tell you I was in a dark place, imagine I was...
You are a dark place.
So anyway, when I tell you I was in a dark place, but not once did it ever cross my mind to commit suicide.
That's big.
Not once did I say I want to take my life, I want to go be with my wife. Because again, I'm a man of faith. And I was told that if you commit suicide, you're gonna
end up with your mom.
Yeah, she's down there. But it's just they told me you're gonna be in purgatory forever. And I want to see my family on the other side. Yes. So that's why not once did it cross my mind to commit suicide. I mean, I went through it. When I tell you,
That's good. Bad. That's really good to hear
because of you, I came out.
Oh man,
not like this, but
I was about to say for real. Stop. Why like this, stupid?
I told you it's Christmas. It happened once, and it's gonna happen again.
Oh man,
but because of you, I came out.
That means a lot to me. I'm glad, bro. It really does. Glad. I don't even know why we should keep on with this episode. Like that's the icing on the cake. Unless I cut that and wait to the end.
He's crying.
Because no, that's it, man.
He's crying.
It's not. It's like getting the confirmation, right? Like this is what I feel I'm called to do. This is what I feel like my comedy is for.
Right.
And so when I hear someone like you who went through the ultimate, and you're confirming that, man. I can't tell you what I'm feeling inside right now. Like, thanks, I appreciate that so much.
But I tell you, man, you need to keep doing what you're doing, because my new calling is to help others that are going through what I'm going through. I mean, I still make people laugh, but when my boys need me, we need to talk. I got you. Trust me, I got you. But
that's man, good.
I just want to say thank you. You brought me out of my house, even though I lost it. But
you lose a lot of shit. Watch where you put things.
Man, I lost 2 brothers. I lost my mother. I lost my wife. Just recently I lost a cousin. And he claimed he was deaf. I don't think he was.
You what? You claimed he
claimed he was deaf. I don't think he was. That man, he came to my mother's door and knocked on the door, right? So I said, "Who is it?" And on the other side, he was.
He heard you say, "Who is it?"
Thank you. So now you see what I'm seeing. Yeah, he was deaf. On his deathbed, he just recently died. I went to see him. And I said, "Tell me you can fucking hear me. Tell me you can fucking hear me."
He said, "No." No. What?
We're going to hell for this one.
Yo,
I'm telling you, my cousin was deaf, but he was funny.
Crazy.
But I want to say, fellow man, if it weren't for you and helping me out of that darkness, I don't know what I'd be doing, man. And you made me want to laugh again. You made me want to tell jokes again.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, man, if you and my kids, trust me.
But I'm a lot shorter than your kids.
Yeah, definitely. Because my kids are all tall. They're taller than me, except for one.
Wow.
My oldest, she's only 5'4".
Listen, that means a lot to me. I can't wait to share this episode with everybody else. And again, one last word you would give to anybody going through anything near what you've gone through. And again, like, I hate hearing people say it's gonna be okay.
No, it's not gonna be okay.
When you're going through it, no one can say that.
Mm-hmm. But turn to you, whoever you believe in. Turn to that. If you believe in God, turn to God. Allah, whoever you believe in, turn to that, and believe in your faith. Follow your faith. And those people that are telling you that move on, that's what you got to do. Trust me.
But no, they mean well.
They mean well, but
they just don't understand.
But if they're not going through it, don't try to give me advice.
Right.
And you've never been through it, And like you said, but the one that got me the most was that guy that asked me if I cried. Of course I cried. I'm human.
Yeah, that was a dumb question.
I apologize to my kids.
I'll say that about people saying things like it's gonna be okay. They mean well. They really do. But you have to be genuine, and that's why, like a situation like this, I can't talk to people and say, "Hey, you're gonna be okay," because I know you will.
Yep.
Right? But it takes work, and it takes
time.
And
there will be a time where they'll be able to talk about that person without breaking down.
Yes.
Normally I would be breaking down right now. That's why I got my hanky in my pocket. But because I've already been through it and I've gone through it, I'm okay. I'm not great, but I'm okay. I'm broken, but I'm okay.
Yeah. And I know you'll get better and better.
Oh yeah. Once I find somebody to date, yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing too.
Yeah.
Because you have the right mindset and you have the right heart.
Definitely.
Keep doing what you're doing, and if you don't, if you're not gonna use any of the jokes, just fucking I'm doing whatever. No, just kidding.
Happy hamster, remember that one?
Yeah, oh my god, happy hamster.
Happy hamster.
That's stupid.
But
that was my version of Bad Bunny. He called me Happy Hamster.
No, we were talking about the other guy.
Oh yeah.
I would never start with you because you grew up in the projects.
Yeah, I get the mic, so I can talk all the time.
But I want to say thank you for having me.
And thank you for coming here and sharing that, and you did something to me today, because it's like I know why I do it, but I don't always get the confirmation. And remember, I don't do it for the confirmation either, right? Because I really believe like those who receive should never remember, right? Or rather, so those who give should never remember. Those who receive should never forget. Right. So I never do stuff with expecting something in return, and that's why I love the comedy, because I can just give it. And I don't have to. They give me. You already give me in return the laughter. That's it, and I don't care if it's just the laughter because you want to laugh or laughter because you really need to laugh. Even though that's the one I want the most. But as long as it's there, and I know that's what's happening, and so it's rare that I get this kind of confirmation. So this being my first guest, man. This is the last podcast. But
look at this yin and yang, black and white. Ready? But that's how you feel that.
Ebony.
I'm Ebony.
Oh, sorry.
So, but honestly, that was my first night out. And you do another show in what's that place over there on Boston State Street? The Paraíso? Not the Paraíso. The
Aquarius.
Aquarius. You know, I left. I started crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just couldn't be out. My anxiety was off the roof. And I left. I cried, man. I cried all the way home, which was only 3 blocks away. But
I didn't see you leave because that one was a lot darker than Moto's one. Racist? No, yeah, Lou.
His dogs are racist too.
Yo, man, she's Mexican, so.
I
used to tell people I had 2 Mexican dogs and 2 Puerto Rican dogs.
That night at Aquarius, I broke down. And people grabbed me. You okay? I said I need to go home. Yeah. But thank you, brother. I really appreciate you.
A lot of people left Aquarius crying over the years.
But that's for other reasons.
I think I left Aquarius crying twice myself. Like, why am I here, man? Nah, Aquarius is dope, man.
And stop picking on me, man. I'm not the darkest man out there. Why you always picking on me?
Well, you usually in the darkest one in your group. You just hang out with people like
light skin.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Black hair, blue eyes. Maggie.
I know. My she's so pale. No, she's not gonna watch this, right?
Yes, she is. Yeah. Hey, Maggie, he's talking about you.
No, he started it.
He did. But I want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate you. I really do. I mean, it means a lot to me just to laugh again. I haven't danced yet, so I gotta listen to one of your songs.
Well, I'm not gonna dance with you. So I think it's the 3rd time he said that. He's trying to get me to dance with people. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty. No, we're not dancing, bro. We'll get you a partner.
No,
we'll get you a partner.
Yeah, my daughter was. I tell you what she said. Dad, I seen you dance. That really hit me.
So that means you got it in you, bro. The rhythm's gonna get you.
You want to sing that one too?
I try to make it sound like a deep quote.
I hope you dance. Come on.
Let's go. Oh my God.
Somebody told me it was going to be like this. My niece, she goes, you know you guys are going to be laughing. I'm like, yeah, we need
That's what it's about. Listen, look at the subject we're talking about, and we haven't stopped laughing.
I needed this. I needed this because June 15th is Father's Day, and it's my wife's birthday.
That sucks. A week away.
That sucks. Big time.
Again, just think about those funny moments you couldn't share with us today.
No, I can't.
Those are the moments. She
would call me little guy, and I'd be naked at the time.
Oh.
Hey, little guy.
How cute. Like, don't do that.
5'10", I get it.
Wow.
But thank you, brother. I really appreciate this.
Thank you for being here. This is Pit Life Comedy Podcast. This is what it's about, dealing with some of the toughest moments and most painful moments in life, and finding the punchlines and finding a way to use those punchlines to punch forward. If you're going through something, talk about it, laugh about it, find the humor in the pain. The quicker you get back to laughing, the quicker you get back to living life on your terms. Mm-hmm. All right? So thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for next episodes. Message me if there's anything you want to talk about or questions you want to ask on any of the shows. And always remember that pain is temporary and laughter is life. So whatever you do, keep laughing. Let's go.
Reason.
Right now, next up, the Pit Life Comedy Podcast with Philip Anthony.
And you are not going to move.
Pain is temporary, but laughter is forever.